There you go, guys. So welcome back again to our another Studebaker video, because it's not all I do, but it's a big chunk of it at the moment. So we've just picked up the motor and a bandsaw. Got a what do you call it? A parts washer here now as well. So that's cool. So anyway, we'll see you in a few minutes, and I'll show you. We'll pick up the motor, and I film a couple of bits when he pulls it out of the shed and puts it on the trailer and gets it in here and what's some bits and pieces. So anyway, so we'll see you shortly when I jump ahead to what I'm going to do next. Alright, catch you later. As you can see or can't see, so we've got a bandsaw and we've got the motor over there.
Oh, let's see if this bad boy will still turn over. Oh, it's solid. Oh. Oh. So it might take a little bit of work to get that turned over. It's not a very big screw. Well, it's a decent sized screw, but it's not huge. You might pull the plugs on that soak for a day or three.
So I've got this in here. I shifted the compressor over there and I just moved the sandblasting cabinet over a little bit. Like it's got light, you don't really need the light over on top of it. And probably without the light actually being quite so close, it's probably going to be a little bit easier to see in there anyway. With light inside it, just won't get that reflection back off. Anyway, so I'll set this here. Most logical place to put it. I'm not sure. Where do you get this from? Oh, I got this from the home of the world's fastest Indian, Heidi and Sons here in Chicago. And this is one of these. The hell's that? Big Red Jacks. Not a brand I've heard of it before anyway, but that's a just a parts washer. They're probably like all of them, they're probably all very, very, very similar. Unless you're going to spend $1,000 or something stupid. But yeah, and we've got a 20 litres, or I guess would be 4 or 5 gallons thing of some C.A.R degrees of parts cleaner crap. Apparently they use on some plain parts or some, I don't know, whatever. But oh, that shit ain't cheap. Jeez. Good thing it's recycling itself. But anyway, so I'll get that over there and then I can get some parts cleaned up. Give you another quick shot of this motor. I did put a slightly bigger bar on there. I didn't try hard and the motor turned over. But I'm still going to pull the plugs out of it and just pour some, I don't know, some ATF or diesel or something like that, just to help lubricate the bores. And to make sure those rings don't stick and shit like that in the pistons, because it's been sitting quite a long time and it hasn't been turned in the last few years. But it actually sat in Dad's shed, like I said earlier. I didn't realise it was. I remember Dad saying whose motor it was, but I didn't remember at the time. I didn't put two and two together until just recently. Yeah. So it sat in Dad's last shed, not the one what we're working out of now. He used to have a shed about this size. It wasn't quite as deep, and it was probably slightly longer. I think it was 24 metres, whatever that is in feet, and 9 metres deep. Well, this is about the same depth as what Dad's shed is now, or maybe slightly deeper. About the same anyway. It might be slightly deeper. And so Dad's shed is 3 bays. This is 4 bays, whereas the old shed was probably 4.5 bays deep. Not quite as deep. It would have been 3 posts deep that way, probably. So about 9 metres instead of about 12 or 13, whatever this one is, metres. Whatever that works out to be feet. I just can't bother working it out. I think 30 feet is 10 metres. So it would be a little bit over, it would be, say, 33 feet deep. It would have been, no, 27 feet deep, thereabouts. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, about 27 feet deep. And whatever it was, in lengthwise, it was 24 metres long. Whatever that works out to be. I'll work it out and put it up on the screen when I edit the video. So yeah, we'll pour something down the plug holes and just let it soak, just so if any of the rings or anything have sort of got half stuck in the pistons, it might be enough to just let them go. We'll pull the lid off it anyway, because we want to just check to make sure there is no rusting boards and stuff like that. Oh, let's step over that shit. And there's no, some of the head studs haven't had nuts put on them. For what reason, I'm not sure. Whether they were missing and they didn't have them, but unfortunately it's been left. So these studs are probably going to have to be pulled out of the block, I'd imagine, and cleaned up, or we might have to at least lift the head off and dine them down and make sure that they are clean and clean everything up, and then obviously find nuts to fit, because there's a lot missing. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, about 12 odd missing. So yeah, you're not going to start it like that. But anyway, so that's cool. This has been rebuilt, but yeah, it's quite a few years ago. It's got to be 10 or 15 years, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but it's quite a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, if we can get some oil down the bores, I'll do that today before I leave. And yeah, just give it some ATF here or something like that, or even some diesel or something, and just let it soak. I'm not going to go stupid, but I'll just pour a reasonable amount to give the bores a good lining. And yeah, just if there is anything stuck, that's going to help free it up. But yeah, we'll pull it off just to make sure there's no rust in the cylinders, and there's no rust under valves and stuff like that. There's no rust on the valve stems and all those sorts of things, because we don't want to start it and then destroy it. But anyway, we'll pour some. We'll pour this parts cleaning fluid in this old girl, give it a crank up, and I guess I'll start cleaning all this diff stuff, and yeah, work through it, I guess.
About there, do you, I guess? Because that's where you're going to be. Yummy. The drain pipe's tight. I'd had to pour $200 worth of shit on the floor. Make sure there's nothing yet. Stupid happens. Yeah. Proudly made in New Zealand. Wow. I was going to make something here. The cool thing is I can probably cut that in half and use it as a little, use it as parts holders too. Kick this old girl in the guts, I suppose. See if she's going to run. Oh, isn't that pretty? Like a fish tank on steroids, isn't it? Smells interesting. It's just one thing I didn't think about. Need a bloody brush, don't I? Yeah, it could be handy. Yeah. I didn't say. You grab a brush as well. Anyway, we'll be back.
Alright, so I've got a few parts soaking in there for out of that diff centre. One side of the C.A.R sitting down in there just to help soak and let the shit soften up off it, because the old oil and shit is, it's so old it's almost gone tarry, so hopefully probably just let it soak for a bit and see what happens, and then give them a brush off. I just found an old paint brush. It's not ideal, but it'll do in the meantime until I get a little one of those nylon, oh shit, parts bristle brushes and whatever. I'm not 100% sure what that stuff is. It almost smells, I don't know, almost caustic-y soda-y, but I don't know if it is or not. So hopefully it doesn't eat the shit off my fingers. Let's get off my fingers, but anyway. Anyway, while we'll let that soak, we'll see if we can find something to pull a plug out of one of these. See if we can find the right size spanner or socket or whatever. Probably spanner will be easier. I don't know what size they are. I'll grab a couple. And see if we can get a plug out of this thing, and then some ATF or something will do. Just a little bit of that, even just pour down the balls. Doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to get a nice little puddle on top of a piston. And just let it soak while it's sitting here until we're getting ready to use it. Set the phone up over here, camera, whatever. Right, hopefully you can still hear me. Alright. Fits the small side of it.
Sweet. Not too bad, man. See, nice shiny barrel still. It's a start. Bring it over actually. Let me have a quick look down there. See if I can show you. Might be able to sort of see that shiny top of the valve. There's a little bit, like a little bit of crap sitting on top, but hey, it's alright. Whoa. But yeah, that's not a bad sign.
Righty, so this has only been a few minutes. Looks like the stuff's loosening it up. I just took that apart out because it had a couple of splits in the bottom of this fluid drained out of it. So I just dumped a couple of parts in there, dumped the ring gear in there, just let it soak. I'm just going to let them, probably might even let it soak for until I come back tomorrow morning or something like that. And just because it's quite thick and tarry, so just let it work. I don't think it's going to hurt it sitting in there. The bearing's going to be replaced and all that sort of stuff anyway, so that's no major biggie. Just let it hopefully eat all that gunge off. I'll have a look before I leave, and I might take them out, but it looks like, you know, I don't think 24 hours sitting in that stuff should hurt steel parts. So yeah, we got this bandsaw here. These obviously had for a while. It was sitting where the motor was. I'm not too concerned about that in the meantime. That's something we can piece together another day. But so after having a look at that vehicle the other day, or yesterday, the carburetor that looks familiar to me was on a 26. Is this one? Pretty sure that's the carby that was on that motor. Whether this is the right carby for a 25, I don't know. But this is the one that's the most familiar. So, might have a wee look and see if we can strip this down and take it apart, I suppose. You see, none of them are the same, are they? They're all different. They are all different. You know, that bit's the same. And the intake in there is in a similar place, but that's about as close as similarities get. You know, it's an updraft carburetor, and it's got a bowl on this end. So this is a Zenith. You should just see that. This is a Zenith carburetor, which is I've heard of before. It's British made. It's got written on there. So has this got any? So this has actually got Studebaker written on it. It's interesting. So I might just give this a wee wash off this top piece, so I can. Maybe not. Interesting. But this is definitely a Studebaker carburetor. That one there could have been a replacement for one, if you know what I mean. But no, this is definitely a Studebaker carburetor. Yeah. So this might be one that goes on that motor. So I don't see any others. This one's broken. What does this say? Okay, got to quickly wash off. Right. So I can read this. See if we can get you in a position where you can read it. Yeah. As Arco would say, sorry about the fret, shaky camera. There we go. So that's a Stromberg UX-2 carburetor, and it's also got a, I presume it's a paint number or part number or something. Just trying to see if I can get in there a bit closer. So it looks like it was made in the US at the time. It's not 100% easy to see. That's the other thing too, I'm wondering. These guys that regularly watch me, you reckon it'd be worth getting some different media for that cabinet, so like we can dump the like the garnet out and then put maybe something a little bit tamer in there for doing likes of, you know, like this sort of stuff, like your glass media or something like that. I assume that would run through one of those cabinets, or I don't know, I haven't had any experience with that sort of stuff. I just wondered, would it be worth getting a bucket of that sort of media, so we know we can chop and change if we need to, for different things. Just let me know. Oh, I'll go away from the light then. Anyway, so yeah, the only reason I asked that is because for sandblasting like diff parts and stuff like that, I don't really want to do that. Okay, look, parts wash is okay, but I'm just thinking still of any of the bits and pieces that might have a little bit of surface rust or something on it. I was wondering maybe a glass bead or something in there, or something like that, that we can, you know, dump the media out of that, put it in a bucket, sit it aside, you know, for half a day or a day, dump the other stuff in it, and use that to clean up something that's not quite so aggressive and more and polishes up. Just wondering, is it worth doing that? Will that sort of media run through something like that, or does it need to be something a bit more, you know, with a bigger nozzle? Or I don't know much about that sort of thing. Actually, years and years ago, when I was a kid, I just started school. I remember as a kid, down the road from the school was a sandblasting yard, which Dad at the time owned, or media blasting yard, I suppose. And all he ever used was, back then, was garnet. Like I'm talking in the, or pre-83 anyway, because that's when he bought the automotive dismantling yard in the middle of Invercargill. So yeah, it was so it would have been, I don't know, sort of like 79, 80, 81 sort of thing, 82. Because I know before that he was driving taxis and stuff. He was still driving taxis too, I think, in amongst the sandblasting stuff, but way back in the day. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they didn't really use, you know, glass or anything of that sort of stuff back in the day. But I just wondered if it is worth putting through that to do some of these pieces that you don't want an aggressive media against. But anyway, let me know. Cheers. Right, anyway, so I'm going to get this carburetor apart, mainly because it's the closest one to that 26 that I've seen. So we can strip this down, and yeah, see if we can clean it up and see if it's going to be any good. Make sure all the shafts aren't all flogged out at the moment. There's any chokes, I think. Yeah, it's just a choke, I'm guessing. Yeah, that seems to be right. Anyway, we'll pull it apart. hopefully you can see there some screws and stuff, bits and pieces here. So I'm trying to do this so I can see how it goes back together. So I'll try and set the phone up so I can see it again. Right, so now they go, just reprofile this screwdriver a bit. See if we can get in there. Come on.
So we'll have a look at this one. Just trying to see whether this is quite a bit different now. You can't even take the shaft out of it to work. That's totally different. So yeah, man. There's not much joy there. At all. It's stuck all of a sudden. That bit turns on. I'll try and clean this up at least and just see what it looks like. And maybe attack this tomorrow. I'll come back to you.
So I dragged a couple of the smaller bits and pieces out of that wash bath thing. So this is some just the nuts and bolts and bits and pieces out of that diff. Well, they come up pretty good. There's obviously the old one with a few rusty spots, like some of these nuts. Then I might just give it a gentle sandblast and then give it another wash. These gears are all pretty good. I need to get a proper one of those little proper nylon wash brushes. Grab one of those from somewhere. I've just got carburetors sitting in that tub with the other butterfly in that, so I'm going to let that soak overnight. I'll leave this. I might pull some of these bits out and just have a quick look. I've sat down still got these other parts in there, so I might pull them out and have another wee look. But I just sat that. Just sat that down in there. That oil's still quite thick and greasy. Like it's coming off, but I'll just let it soak a bit longer and see if it'll move a bit easier without being real thick and heavy and slippery still. But yeah, like that brush isn't really ideal. It's okay for washing the, sort of just wiping the worst of the shit off, but I need a proper little bristly brush. So anyway, I might borrow Dad's tomorrow or something like that. and then yeah, we'll get one. But yeah, I might pull the ring gear out and stuff like that, and just have a wee look at those as well. So I'll set you back over here and we'll pull them out. And I'll bring them to the bench. So once I've sort of got these parts cleaned up, and then I'll clean some of these other parts up and just see what we need to do to make it better, or repairs or whatever. So this is that. So it's still got quite thick grease. Like I need a proper brush to sort of get it to come out of there, but yeah, until you sort of really get it cleaned up, it's hard to tell. Looks like there could be almost rusty spots on the inside of the housing, but that might be just shit and grease too. And the same on the surface. You can sort of see where it's been sitting for a long time. It's pitted in there, but you know, it may clean up alright. The same within. This all needs really cleaned up properly. The bearing's going to come off anyway, so but we'll try and get it all cleaned up properly so we can have a decent look and just make sure. Yeah. Hard to tell whether that's grease or just rust. Looks like grease, but it looks like rust. So we need to get it all cleaned up. So I'll let that soak with some water. So this is the crown wheel. So again, as you can see, there's quite a few rusty spots on it. So this would be wild. Want the different media. See if we can bring this up. Because the crown wheel looks like it's in fairly good shape, especially compared to how this is all beaten up at the back. It's unusual why it's all beaten up at the back. Because I imagine it's, just doesn't make much sense that it's all, unless it's been moving around and it's been working on there. Obviously, the bearing's not been set properly or something like that, in the last few years. But it doesn't look bad, It's not as though it's all chipped on this surface. It's only on that, the pinion. They really should be a match set, but we'll just have to see. Apparently there is another diff, so we can strip that down and have it, see if it's any better. We'll find out, This is coming alright, but there's a lot of thick walls, thick and gungy. I thought with that soaking there like that, it might have cleaned up a bit easier. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with that C.A.R. shit. We'll see what I think about it tomorrow. And get a decent brush in there and give it a decent scrape around. Some shit off that stuff, even though it is, look, when you look at this, that is just thick, pasty. It's like grease almost, or worse than grease. It's like baked on grease. So look, it is shitty. But, anyway, we'll see what happens. She might be able to sit that in there. bring some blimmin'. I got some black latex gloves, or gloves at home, like rubber gloves. Hold the box or not. Grab a few and bring them down. Playing with that stuff. It says it's just don't know what with dirty hands though. pH neutral, non-corrosive, solvent-free, non-flammable, rust inhibitor, non-toxic, biodegradable. So who knows what it's doing to your hands, but who knows. Anyway, we'll catch you later on. I don't think I've got too much more to do at the moment. Like, I might go have a wee look at that engine again, but apart from that, I haven't got sort of too much more to do. It's, you know, let those sort of bits soak and see if we can get those butterflies of that out tomorrow, and then if those come up cleanish in the morning, I'll stick. I might start cleaning some of these bits up, but yeah, I don't want to disturb the stuff too much because that's the way it come off, and I can follow the video to put it back together if if I get confused, which is possible.